What? Dude. Fish on.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
This is Andy Rowe from rowpaint.com. If you've thought about finishing your garage floor, patio, or business, give us a call. We have dozens of floor coating options to fit a variety of budgets and tastes. From polishing to stone finishes, decorative chips, and more, rowpaint.com is the largest applicator of specialty coatings in the Treasure Valley. Let the official coatings company of the Broncos bring you a 5-star experience and product.
My husband and I are like, we should have done this sooner, and it really changes your garage. Like your garage is just so much cleaner, and it stays so much cleaner. I'm not really sure how that's possible, but it does. And it's literally my favorite room in our house right now. I would definitely recommend Row Paint to my friends, family, and neighbors. The outcome was amazing. The process was amazing. Row Paint was so awesome, and I am highly impressed, and I would use them for other things as well.
rowpaint.com. Power in people, pride in painting.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Monday, happy new week, happy Blue and Orange Store Monday, and I guess most importantly, Jay Tust, happy Mountain West Media Days week here at Bronco Nation News, bronconationnews.com. I packed the other mic for the trip, Jay, and I'm trying to use the mic that you have, but yours looks way cooler and more out of the picture than mine, so I'm not sure what you got yours to not block half the screen, but it's Monday. It's a busy day for both of us, busy week for both of us, but appreciate you, Jay, switching up the schedule a little bit and jumping on today. How we doing?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I may just end up holding this. We'll see what happens here. But busy day. You guys are heading down tomorrow. We're flying down late this evening, trying to get ducks in a row with the family and kids and the house and work and everything else going on. And oh yeah, we get some basketball interviews today too, timed perfectly in the middle of all of this. So a lot going on, but you know what? I say this all the time, Jay, and maybe I'll be regretting this, Thursday about 2:00 when I'm on fumes, but I like being busy, like doing stuff, like doing interviews, like working, like staying busy. And sometimes in the summer, you're just waiting for weeks like this to come and road trips and to come and thing for games and long nights and hours. So we'll see how this week goes, but I am pretty fired up that we have reached a week where we're at least covering Boise State football. We can seriously get back to work here and get down to business.
Well, you start hearing from us less and from other people that actually play and coach these games a little bit more, right? So that's a good thing, I would say. But yeah, no, I'm excited too. This is kind of the unofficial kickoff of football season, as we've called it. It's happening earlier than it ever has before. I'm interested to see how it works out. I think it'll be a good idea. But obviously, we said in the past, the Mountain West kind of relocating the date of their media days in order to try to benefit from, some other national media that might be in town for the Big 12 media days and such. So hopefully that works out, and excited to kick this thing off on, news will start tomorrow, and then the interviews and all that stuff will take place on Wednesday and Thursday, but it should be a pretty fun week, I think, for college football fans, and especially for Boise State fans. What do you got going on, bud?
There we go. I just took the mic off the stand and couldn't figure it out, and was hoping you'd stall about 5 more seconds, but I had muted myself because it didn't sound good. All right, we're just going to make this work for today. New record, I think, Jay. I've got 3 bags of nothing but equipment for we don't have the KTVB equipment, where a lot of the stuff that you probably have in one little thing takes me a much more size cameras and mixers and all kinds of stuff. But we have 3 bags that going down with just equipment. We're excited about a new camera that I have, so hopefully we should have some new equipment, some new mixer that a lot of small stuff that folks don't realize, but for some reason when you swap, we tried it last week, there was some blurriness in the past, and I think I've avoided that, and so we'll see. We should hopefully have the best setup we've had. Again, I always go back to it, but I was watching it again the other day where you and I interviewed Jeremiah Dickey at the Mandalay Bay for about 10 minutes before I realized that we were on mute. So that was a lot of fun, and we've come a long way, I think. So excited to get down there. And I know, Jay, 7 new coaches, if you count the interim coach at Utah State, I believe. Spencer Danielson for us, and if you count the interim status, is certainly now all of a sudden in the top half of the league in terms of new coaches and time they've actually been at their school, if you count the interim time going back into last season. So there's going to be a lot of name tags being worn, a lot of new coaches, a lot of storylines, and I think this is going to be an intriguing, I look at the players on the list, and I don't know if the star power at the media days is maybe quite as big as it's been. Still stay tuned on Ashton Genty on that. But I just think that there's not a ton of star power in terms of some of the years we've had a Josh Allen down there or some of these guys down there. But I still think with the playoff being there and with everything else going on in the Mountain West, and I still think it's a lot of excitement and anticipation around this season. And, I know maybe it's not, realistic for couple schools like a New Mexico or a Wyoming or San Jose or whoever. But I mean, all the schools, all the coaches and players at this media days this week, Jay, know that if they can just win their conference, they're going to have a really good chance to be in the college football playoff. And that's something we've never really been able to say. And I do think that's going to be a talking point and a storyline at media days and really energize a lot of these teams going into the season here, is that everybody legitimately has a chance this year. And I think that's pretty cool. But outside of that, I think there's 3, 4, maybe 5 teams that we legitimately think have a real chance to win this thing. I mean, I was doing some prep last night for some of the interviews, and some of these teams, I like the coaches they got, but I mean, I don't see a Bronco Mendenhall getting them this quickly. Some of these other teams everybody knows about. I mean, I like some of the coaches they hired. I mean, I got an hour on Thursday, I think, Jay, as I'm rambling here, where I go back to back to back on my show with Sean Lewis and Ken Niamataolo and Bronco Mendenhall. I mean, there's some name coaches in this league, certainly. Yeah. It take a little while for them to get their respective programs going.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, there's some good coaches in this league, but a lot of them are new. I think one guy that I'm probably most excited to talk with is a guy like Jeff Choate, and to see how interested he was in this job, and he probably won't admit much, but one thing that if you follow that guy on social media, he is not afraid to talk a little bit of a game and share some confidence that he has in his boys and his team. And I think that they need that injection of energy in Reno right now. And Jeff Tedford.
Think he'll say anything? By the way? I mean, you think Jeff Choate's really gonna, I'm hoping to have our boy Mike Sanford in on that interview with me. So maybe coach to coach, you can get him talking a little bit. But I just wonder if he's gonna take the high road and say, "Oh, I'm happy," whatever. If he would have said, heck yeah, I wanted that job. I tried hard twice and didn't get it, and I'm going to make him pay for not hiring me. I mean, I wonder what if he'll say what he's actually feeling.
I don't know, man. He definitely seems like somebody that kind of speaks his mind and wears his heart on his sleeve. I think that kind of what makes Jeff Choate. So if there's anybody that would maybe say something, you feel like it might be him, but he also has a direction now, and that is, with the moving forward with the Nevada Wolfpack. So he obviously can't, probably share any remorse or anything like that because he's got a job to do now. But I mean, you might want to say like star power and stuff like that. I think that, when Josh Allen was at media days, like nobody knew he was going to be the 6th overall pick in the NFL draft. And I think if anything, you kind of look at the rosters. I think it shows that the Mountain West did actually do an okay job of retaining some of their top tier talent. Like I can only imagine what a guy like Torrey Horton, was receiving 96 catches last year. He's probably going to become the all-time leading receiver in Mountain West history. They bring back Jack Howell, the safety that posted monster tackle numbers. Nick Nash is back again. I can't believe he still has eligibility, but for San Jose State, I would
look to make sure that was the same kid. I remember him from the COVID year, I think it was.
Yeah, yep. I would argue that, I mean, if you just want to go off star power alone in terms of sheer production, again, emphasis on production there, UNLV might have the best duo there with, Jackson Woodard and Ricky White III. Those guys posted monster seasons last year as the Rebels had their first year, best year in decades. Obviously, Ahmed's going to be there, one of the best sack masters in all of college football. So there are some good guys coming back. Ike Larson, I think he had 4 or 5 picks last year for Utah State and 100 tackles. There's some good talent coming back. Harrison Whaley for Wyoming. I don't think it's like the obvious names, that are going to show up
first
on draft
team though,
boards.
right? I think he might be first team.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, I got Ashton Genty and Harrison Whaley on my first team, they were on my ballot for the preseason All Mountain West team. I know that Malik Sherrod at Fresno State is very, very good. And he should definitely be in contention to be on that preseason All Mountain West team. But for me, just knowing Wyoming, they're going to have to lean on Whaley, their running back. They just have I think they put more emphasis on him versus Fresno. They're going to kind of lean probably a little more towards Mikey Keene.
Yeah.
That's why I gave Harrison the nod on my preseason ballot.
And no Keene at media days. They went with Sherrod, the running back. You got to have one offensive, one defensive player. No argument there. And I think we've listed like
Keene still has eligibility.
Yeah. And no disrespect to any of the other players, but I think the 5 or 6 players we've talked about, the star power in the league, are the 5 or 6 that I've requested to have on our shows. We're taking all 12 coaches. I know you're going to talk to all these guys, and I said it last week, and this is not necessarily a shot at others, but this is the first time I can remember neither local newspaper is going down to media days this year. So you literally have 3 options: KTVB, KTIK, or BNN. And I hope by now folks have realized those are the 3 outlets that I think have kind of separated themselves the last year or two in terms of commitment to traveling and covering these guys on a daily basis, whether it be football, basketball, and budgets are tightening, and newspaper business isn't going in a great direction. Like I said, that's why I got out of it a couple years ago. So it's not any kind of personal shot at the guys that are working there. Ron, John, they do a great job. They're doing the best they can. Their papers or whatever are not sending anybody to media days, which is disappointing in the state of local journalism. There's a lot more you can get boots on the ground there. I mean, Jay, you've had years where whether you had a kid or COVID or whatever else, you haven't been down there, and it ain't the same when you're not down there. You can sit there and try to watch Mountain West shows or take even, your compadres coverage that's down there for KTVB and try to rewatch the videos later. But just being in the room, shaking hands, talking to people, getting that time away from the camera to catch up with people. It's a really busy couple of days, but it's a very important few days, I think, in terms of getting ready for the season. So disappointing to hear that neither local paper is going down there this year. But it is what it is, and I'm super excited about what we're doing at BNN. I know KTIK's got great plans, and I know KTVB will be live across all the platforms for 3 days, and you guys will have a ton of coverage as well. So we're gonna the few of us that are going are gonna take names and kick some butt, and it's gonna be fun.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. It is always a fun time, and I was talking about this with Brady last night. I think the thing that you kind of appreciate about where the new location of Circa, second year in a row there, you feel like the hotel is all in on it, right? Like, and they are. To where kind of in the years past, it was like you got a room, anything outside of that room, you couldn't do anything. And so it feels like, the whole hotel, not just, a little conference, not a big conference room, I guess, at the old hotels, but, you feel like the whole hotel is in on it, which is it'll make our lives a little easier.
And I think we were talking, Jay, you've been to Circa before, but this will be your first media days at Circa. I think last year you just had your which congratulations on the first birthday, by the way. The party looked awesome, baseball theme. That was you set the bar pretty high though on the first birthday for the future birthdays. But Brooks, I mean, that was a heck of a party there. So congratulations on turning 1. So that kid last year, as you should have been, were with your family and your kiddo last year and didn't make it down. But it is by far, and I'm not just saying this because Circa is one of my sponsors. I said it last year. This will be my 12th, I think, Mountain West Media Days, and you're probably 1 or 2 ahead of me. But I mean, it's we've had them where like Mandalay Bay, you literally had to walk a mile from your hotel. We've had them where it's not close. I mean, you literally get off the elevator from your room. The escalator is right there. You go up the escalator to the second floor, or one more to the third floor, and literally when you get off the escalator, I mean, last year our BNN set was 30 feet from the escalator. I mean, the media days are literally right when you get up there. All the stuff is perfect. It is the perfect size. The way they do the hallways and the rooms, it's not too big, too small. I mean, it is the perfect size to host an event like this, and it almost looks like it was made for something like this in terms of the size of it. And so I think you're really going to enjoy it. I know fans are going to enjoy it. Our coverage is going to be top-notch. I mentioned make sure you're watching all the they're not making you go live on like the 7 a.m. newscast, are they? I mean, I know you'll be doing the evening ones, but do you have to get up to the morning ones as well?
We'll finagle some stuff. We'll see. We got to make sure that everybody gets their football fix, right?
Got the look lives and stuff. Come on, we can pull something off here. But KTVB, make sure you're watching KTV. Before I pimp the BNN coverage and the KTIK coverage, you're hosting, Jay. I want to make sure I throw it out there. You guys will have all kinds of coverage, all the interviews, and the 10 o'clock news. I'm sure the 5-6 o'clock news, all the different various newscasts. You guys will be live and sending stuff back, and so make sure all week you're tuned to KTVB for your coverage. But with that said, super excited as well about BNN and what we got going on. Jay, in conjunction with KTIK, we're going to attempt to go 8 consecutive hours of live coverage. We were going to start at 10 a.m. Boise time on Wednesday and Thursday, the 2 days of media days. Wednesday and Thursday, we're starting at 10 a.m. BNN will have a 5-hour live stream. Folks asked for it, and I'm going to try to give it to them. So 5-hour live stream. Make sure Wednesday and Thursday you're ready to go at 10 a.m. Boise time, 10 a.m. Boise time on Wednesday and Thursday. The stream will start. We'll have Johnny, we'll have Jay, we'll have Prater, we'll have Mike Sanford, who's going to be a big part of the coverage. We're going to have the commissioner, Navarez. We're going to have the rules official, Mike DeFee, all 12 coaches. We're going to have some players. We're just going to kind of see who walks by the set. We have a ton of stuff planned. It's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait. So Wednesday and Thursday, make sure pretty much all day, 10 to 3 will be BNN's live stream. 3 to 6 will be KTIK, Prater, and Johnny. And then, as I said, flip over to KTVB for all their evening newscasts and their coverage at ktvb.com as well. So super excited to get down there. And again, if you can support our efforts with a subscription, we'd love to have you. BroncoNationNews.com. It's $50 for a full year or $6.99 a month. And we're trying to keep these shows free on YouTube. And we would love your support if you can help make this happen, because BNN is sponsoring KTIK, so we're going to be a sponsor of their coverage and putting in some resources for that, and they're going to be on our shows, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And tomorrow, Jay, I think tomorrow the high is 116. We're supposed to be out by the pool. I can't wait to see Mike Prater, how he's going to be feeling about 4:55 when their show is almost over tomorrow night. But super excited to get down there. But tomorrow, yes, we will be broadcasting 10 a.m. Again, 10 a.m. tomorrow in Boise. All 3 days we start at 10 a.m. in Boise the rest of the week. And we will be out by the Stadium Swim. We'll be in the Cabana tomorrow for BNN live in the morning. And then 2 to 5, right in the middle of the day, Johnny and Prater are going to be out by the Cabana. And I wish them luck out there by the Cabana, Jay. 117.
I saw something that said, I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday, but it might be the hottest day in the history of Las Vegas.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. It's 100. It's going to be pretty hot here in Boise this week. Well over 100, I think, the rest of the week. And it's going to be even hotter down there. So full coverage all week. Super excited about that. Again, 10 a.m. the next 3 days. Prater and Johnny and I are flying down tonight. Jay, you had some obligations in the morning, so you'll be heading down tomorrow morning. And then, again, we'll be out by the pool tomorrow at 10 a.m., 3 to 6, Johnny and Prater will be doing their show tomorrow out by the pool. I'll make an appearance. Bob will make an appearance. And then Wednesday, as I said, just 10 a.m., turn on the BNN YouTube channel and leave it on all day. All players, Commissioner. I forgot to mention Jeremiah Dickey's going to be on as well. Jay is going to hopefully appear, interview permitting, around I think it's 1 p.m. Boise time both days for about half an hour. So we got to have all the co-hosts, all my friends, the whole gang, and we're going to kick some butt with the coverage. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Jay, as we said, 7 new coaches, some new players. I mean, it's media days always is kind of you get excited anyway, but like I said, with that playoff and stuff and just a lot of new faces, like I think there's going to be a lot of energy down there at Circa.
Yeah, and there's always storylines that emerge down there. This time last year, there was some chaos around San Diego State, right? And their thoughts of leaving the Mountain West Conference to join the Pac-12, and well, now there's no Pac-12, so that shifted rather quickly. So there are always storylines, and I especially expect this week to be for some storylines around Mountain West Media Days that will excite fans, and it'll be good. But it all starts with, we'll see what Commissioner Navarez has to say. When this thing kicks off bright and early at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Mountain time on Wednesday morning.
We will talk. I actually had that on my list here, Jay. What Gloria Navarez might say, what you want to hear her say, what the most important question is to her. And then also so we're getting some questions. If you have a question or a comment in the ICCU YouTube chat, there's one about Jonah Dalmas. There's one about the uniforms. There's a couple of questions in the chat here. We will get to those in just a second. But first, want to thank a couple of our great sponsors. Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Our studio sponsor, perfect for that next game day tailgate or that trip to the pool at Circa. Check out Cutwater Spirits. Our title sponsor is roepaint.com, roepaint.com. Again, concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, all your painting needs. There wouldn't be a BNN without Roe Paint, so please support them. Return the favor and get your painting needs fulfilled at roepaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union. Episode 2 is coming up next week, I believe, of the Tyson Degenhart Show. Where we'll have a lot of football coverage this week, and then really dive in back on basketball next week with the TBT team in town. That's going to be fun next week. So a lot of football this week, a lot of basketball next week. ICCU.com, check them out. The eBranch mobile online banking is so easy to use. And again, there's a branch on pretty much every corner, but you don't need to go there because you can just use the app on your phone. So highly recommend them. Brent Cotter, the home mortgage department, did a great job. Check them out, ICCU.com. Bowsher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley for a reason. We purchased our home using Matt Bowsher. We sold our home using Matt Bowsher, and him and his team, Kelly, Cade, Sarah, the whole crew, just phenomenal every step of the way. We were very appreciative and thankful of them. So I highly recommend Matt Bowsher and his team if you're looking for your next purchase or sale of a home. Check them out online at bowsherrealestate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. 13 locations around the state of Idaho. Love that Kuna location, the Star, Middleton locations as well. They got a lot in the Magic Valley. And again, if you're heading up to McCall for a weekend, no need to fill the cooler and everything down here. Just get it up there. The ice, the meat, whatever you need for your cooler. Ridley's has a McCall location that I just love. So go support the sponsors and check out Ridley's Family Markets. And again, you can get more information, find a location near you, or to download their new app at shopridleys.com. All right, Jay, there he is. We are a lot of stuff coming in here. Somebody, Derek's asking if we're doing Blazers outside this week. That is one word I probably can't say on, like I could, but I don't want to, and then a no. No, definitely not, Derek. Maybe inside one of the days we'll see, but no. It's 117 degrees. 100. Even in those cabanas, Jay, they're not fully enclosed, so it's cooler, but it's still going to be nice and hot. So not a lot of. I'm sure you're going to try to get outside for a live shot, maybe at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Maybe you just do it in the sports book and call it good. I recommend the sports book, and then you have some odds, maybe talking about Heisman or something. I don't know, but
you can't look cool in a blazer.
No,
when you're sweating through the blazer. I think I learned that back at the Louisiana Tech game. And what was that? 15, 16.
Yeah.
Oh man, the heat was radiating from the turf. It was so freaking hot. And I remember thinking, we'll do it. And I stood like he was even fine like walking down to the turf, and you got on the turf and it was like melting you from the turf. So that at that point in time, that's when I kind of made that decision that you can't look cool in a blazer if you're sweating through the blazer.
Any update on Dalmas kicking at Circa during media? How about this, Jay? I don't remember if I've been on with you since we've talked about this. Have you been on either of these days that we've talked about this? I don't remember.
You mentioned it. Yeah.
I had the crazy idea. I texted Derek Stevens, the owner. They're sending the kicker that's 18 field goals away from breaking the NCAA record. You guys should do something fun. They put their team together, and Circa purchased some mini field goal posts. They are arriving tomorrow, and yes, hopefully the plan on Wednesday. Jay, from one edge of the pool at Stadium Swim to the other, 65 yards.
Ooh.
65 yards, which we believe Jonah Dalmas, at least in practice, certainly has made before, but has yet to do that in a game of that distance. What's his career long in a game? 55, 56 maybe?
I think, yeah. I might be 54. I can't. It's right there, though. Right there.
But he has, in practice, I think, connected multiple times from 65 yards. It's different when you're not having, first of all, it's the chance, the opportunity in a game. I don't know, he hasn't even had a chance to attempt that.
Yeah.
But it's 65 yards from one edge of the pool to the other, and they are going. They're finalizing the details. I don't know all the details yet, but there is a plan in place, Jay, and you'll need to get out there and make sure you get that on video for KTVB. People in the pool having a good time, eating, drinking, partying, and then flying over their head will be a Jonah Dalmas kick to try to go 65 yards for a field goal to be the first official made field goal of the 2024 season.
By the way, I forgot. He had a 56-yarder against UCF
Get
last
off.
year.
Let's go.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep, 56-yarder.
Take that, Tust stats. 56. Yeah. Let's go.
Yep. So 56-yarder, he bombed in against UCF. So he's got a chance. I will say this, though, man, kicking off the concrete, it's going to be a little different than planting your foot in the blue with some spikes on and letting it fly. So
now, that is true. And I believe in the owners, they have what's called the owner's suite. There's one on each side of the side of the casino. And I believe those are layered in artificial turf. So I don't know the plan, but obviously the number one goal is to not get Jonah Dalmas injured, slipping, on there. So I'm sure they'll take really, they'll take very good precautions, and maybe they end up changing it a little bit. But I know they did buy some mini field goals, and they're trying to do something fun with Jonah out there, and maybe some random fan gets a free bar tab or something if he makes the kick. I don't know. They're working on something fun. Yeah, you're just out there, random person having a good time, drinking your cut water and hanging out in the pool, and then here comes Jonah Dalmas's field goal flying over your head through the mini goalposts. I think that it'll be kind of fun.
Sounds like fun, man. I guess it goes back to just the fact that this property leans into media days as a whole property.
The owner of the casino took time out of his day last week to put a plan together to try to appease my idiotic idea, but it may happen. If Circa really likes you guys, they'll give you a Win Golf Club tee time. Max, that would be awesome, but on this trip, A, if it's 117, I'm going nowhere near the golf course, and B, once you walk into Circa for media days, you don't walk out of Circa until you're heading back to the airport. It is I know people aren't going to feel sorry for us, Jay. We're going to Las Vegas on a work trip. I get it, but it's not the typical.
I promise it's sun up to sundown.
It is not the typical. Again, I'm not asking for people to feel sorry for us, whatever, but I'm literally there before 7 a.m, probably 6:45 to start setting up all of my equipment for the live show each day. And you're literally there till, on my case, not leaving that spot till 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. I'm literally 12 hours in the same little conference room. And then you have to go back and write a story and edit video. And you're lucky to get a quick bite to eat. I'm the way I'm doing this 5-hour live stream, I'm likely going to skip lunch. It's not like we're just hanging around at the sports book and blackjack tables and all this stuff. If you're doing that, it's literally at midnight, and then you're cutting into your sleep the next day. So, I'm still, I think my wife finally understands that, Jay. I don't know about yours, but it's still a challenge when,
Karen's gone with you before. That's why I need to extend the offer to Camille to come along with me so she can see. Because, most people behind the scenes, I don't think believe it. But even like going to track and field, the Olympic trials, it was 7 a.m. to midnight every day we were there.
Now that's like, okay, I could see that though. I could see like my wife or Camille being like, okay, you're going to Eugene, Oregon. That's obviously a work trip. You're going to be fine. But when I say, I'm going to 4 days in Las Vegas, it is a little tougher. or 3 nights, I guess. It is a little tougher. You're right. My wife has, seen it, but if Camille goes, then, Karen and whoever else need to go too, because she ain't going to see you. Then that's the proof, all it takes is,
that's why she doesn't go.
Karen came once, had the entire trip to herself, and then realized, no need for me to go back again. I'm not going to see you the entire time anyway. So Bill L says wives always think business trips or vacations. I believe my wife understands the amount of work, but even last night she said something about, it starts on Wednesday morning. Why you go on Monday night? And it's like, well, we're doing live shows Tuesday. We're appeasing the sponsors. There's, unlike what you're having to do, Jay, I don't really enjoy flying or going and getting somewhere at 9 p.m. and then turning around and having to, be ready to go for 2 12-hour days at 7 a.m. the next day. So, but this Circa's amazing. Will we find 5 minutes to maybe walk down and check the odds in the sports book of a baseball game or something? Maybe literally 5 minutes, but it's a busy couple of days, but it's a lot of fun. And you mentioned Circa kind of leaning into it. They do an awesome job. It's going to be really exciting, but no, there will not be any golf on this trip. Would have had to go down a day or two early, but even with the heat, I don't know if that's going to happen. Sky is asking about a ball talk episode from Vegas. Yes, that is happening. And as of now, the tentative time for that is during the live stream on Thursday. Trying to find my schedule here for what I've tentatively put together. John Mallory and Mike Sanford live at noon Boise time on Thursday as part of our 5-hour live stream. Noon on Thursday. John Mallory and Mike Prater will be 3 to 6. And then, but at noon, Mike Sanford and John Mallory live with Ball Talk. So make sure you check that out. Dylan Cooper, Jay, BJ, appreciate the coverage. Thank you, Dylan, for that. Hope you're doing all right. Let's see what else we got here. La Tech game was so hot, their player passed out on the sidelines. I don't remember that part, but ours did not. Do you think the punter and Jonah Dalmas will break the NCAA record? We've talked numerous times about this, Matthew. Not sure if you're new to the channel, but appreciate you. Hopefully you hit that like button and that, more importantly, that subscribe button there in the corner. But yes, I think there's a good chance he could, but also you hope Boise State's scoring more touchdowns, Jay, where you're not having to see 28 field goals this year from Jonah Dalmas. But I would think there's a good chance that ends up happening. I'm not sure what punting record he's talking about. Maybe the average per yard punt. I'm not sure. Colin, appreciate he likes neither of us, Jay. Apparently his favorite show is Ball Talk. So I actually, Colin, I joke with you, but yes, I love Ball Talk. We get a lot of great reviews on it. And Mike Sanford in general is just awesome at what he does. And he made I kind of floated it out there as a kind of a joke, kind of a serious thing. Wasn't sure how interested he would be a couple months ago when I mentioned this, and the fact that we got it done. And he is coming down largely for BNN, but also doing a little bit with altitude there in Denver and some other stuff. And it's going to be a lot of fun to have him in on the interviews and hopefully catching a cold one with him at some. I like you guys too. Thank you, Colin. There we go. Appreciate it. Jump in Idaho is also looking forward to Ball Talk. That's going to be a lot of fun as part of our 5 hours of coverage. But Commissioner Navarez, Jay, as you said last year, almost the entire presser was consumed with the legal battle with San Diego State, and they had just announced the settlement like the day before media days that they'd come to an agreement, and because San Diego State said they were going to leave, then said, we didn't say we were leaving. We just said we might leave. And they said, no, you can't come back in or you don't get your money back. What do you think is the overarching theme or storyline of Gloria Navarez's address on Wednesday, as you said, 8 a.m. Pacific time?
Yeah. I think that one thing, and it's such an interesting topic because you don't really know what you're kind of looking for with the answer, I guess. And for me, that is the future stability of the Mountain West Conference with the Pac-12. I know there's only 2 teams, but the conference is still alive for a couple more years. And right now, those teams are kind of paying the Mountain West a bit of a premium to help fill out their schedule. And so, when we talked, I guess it was prior to the Mountain West Conference Championship game, the last time we kind of sat down with Gloria in this setting, and she didn't, she didn't have a ton to say outside of the fact that those schools are definitely giving the Mountain West a nice little payday to remain alive in the Pac-12 at this point. It's the Pac-2, but technically it is still the Pac-12 in terms of what it's called. So, it's just going to be interesting to see, how they continue to navigate this, because it just feels like by keeping that league alive that you might be jeopardizing your own future a little bit. And the reason why it's kind of awkward is because, you figure you're not, who knows anymore, I guess, but if the Pac-12 were to come up with a plan to salvage this thing, you figure Boise State would be at the top of that wish list, right? And so it's just interesting to me how they're going to continue to navigate this.
Well, not to get into that whole thing again, but I would think the most likely thing would be the whole Mountain West just reversing with those two, but keeping the Pac-12 name. Maybe the Mountain West is one of the conferences on the east side. And you have your Pac-12 conference, your Mountain West conference. I don't know, divisions. I don't know, but I would suspect it's everybody or nobody at this point, in my opinion. I don't know if that's how you would feel, but I would suspect the whole Mountain West. And if you're having to project something in some capacity, Oregon State and Washington State will be in the same conference with the 12 Mountain West schools. You'll have 14 schools, and whether that's called the Mountain West or whether that's called the Pac-12, that's what I would assume ends up happening.
Yeah. I want to say that makes sense, but at the same time, like with conference realignment, I don't know if that makes the most sense when it comes to dollars. And you look around, basically everybody is trimming the fat, if you will. Like the ones that don't offer much of a monetary value, they find ways to move on without them or leave them out of a league altogether, kind of what has happened with Washington State and Oregon State. And so I do think there are those types of programs in the Mountain West. If you want to really strengthen your position moving forward, geographical significance is obviously out the window. So you have to find a way to push into Texas in some way, shape, or form. I'd say the premier programs have already figured out where they're going and what they're doing in Texas, but you have to figure out a way to push into that state if you're looking out for the best, interest of your league, especially from a money standpoint.
And I think maybe there'd be a Hail Mary where you try to get the AAC involved. You get the top, Memphis, South Florida, some of those kind of teams together and Tulane and put together a national conference that you try to build together. And maybe there'd be possibility there. If that were the case, a school like New Mexico, a school like Wyoming could be in trouble. Hawaii, it doesn't bring a whole lot. I know they're not part of the financial picture, so it doesn't really hurt you to have them in the league, I guess, because they're getting their own, they're not part of your TV money. But in terms of just taking a spot, I don't know if Hawaii brings a whole lot. San Jose, I'd like to think with Ken Niamataolo, and you'd like to think in San Jose that could be a place that would have some value, but I don't know if it has a ton of value or as much as they thought it would. But you're right, Jay. You could easily pick 3, 4, 5 schools that just you could probably not lose a whole lot in terms of TV dollars by getting rid of them. And then if maybe you go with 10 and that's it with the Oregon State, Washington State, or if you could get, and I know it would really not be ideal, but if you could get some other school, the top 3 or 4 schools from the AAC or the Sun Belt or whoever else, and put together this just mega group of 5 conference and make it good enough to maybe be that 5th Power 5 conference again. That's certainly on the table. So I agree with you. I think that'll be the big storyline. Was that a 1-year deal? That was a 1-year deal or 2-year deal that the 2 schools signed with the Mountain West. Do we remember?
Gosh, I wanted to say it was a 2-year deal, but now maybe I'm going back on that. I feel like it was for 2, but maybe it was only 1 year.
It probably doesn't mean a whole lot anyway. I mean, I think if they wanted to do something sooner, they could certainly do that. But that'll probably be the big story. I mean, don't forget. I mean, you know this, Jay, but I mean, folks out there, like the Mountain West wanted them in so bad, or was willing to take them so bad for the money, that they got rid of a conference game for that. I mean, there is 7 conference games instead of 8. I mean, that is a huge deal to do that and redo your whole football schedule and everything just to take their money and have them be a part of it. So folks are saying 2-year deal on the chat. So appreciate you guys for that. A lot of questions about the uniforms, Jay. And let me thank our last couple of sponsors here. And then for the last couple of minutes, we can wrap it up and discuss the plan for that. New uniform talk in just a second. But first, Lithia Ford of Boise. LithiaFordBoise.com. Check them out. Their anniversary sale is going on. We appreciate Jim Sturk and company. They're one of Boise State's biggest supporters and Bronco Nation News as well. So next time you're looking to purchase that next vehicle, that next car or truck, that Ford F-150 like the Raines family has, think no further than Lithia Ford of Boise right there on Fairview. And again, go in there, tell them you heard about it on BNN, but most importantly, after you purchase your vehicle, make sure you snap a picture of yourself next to that and tag me and post and let me know, and we'll make sure Lithia Ford sees that their advertising is working. So best in the business, looking for that new vehicle, check out Lithia Ford of Boise. Our interview desk at Media Day is going to be sponsored by Taco Bell. All your Taco Bell interviews coming up this week, the next couple of days at Media Days. Thanks to the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, TacoBellWorks.com. If you're looking for a job, they'll hire you. They got great promotional opportunities, great benefits, including free food while you work and half your pay the very next day after your shift. So they're doing a lot of great things for the local community, for Boise State as well. You can get more information about that at TacoBellWorks.com. And again, the interviews at Mountain West Media Days sponsored by our friends at Taco Bell. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. We appreciate Travis Hawks and company for their support of BNN and making Mike Prater and the folks we have on like Jay and Johnny be possible. So theblueandorangestore.com. You can get the shipping discounts there on your online orders, or just go into the Boise Town Square Mall. They're on the second floor next to Pro Image, and they've got all kinds of Boise State stuff. They'll have the new uniforms. We talked to Travis Hawks, who has seen them, and they will have them shortly after they are released at the Blue and Orange Store. So make sure you check them out online at theblueandorangestore.com. Transportation compliance service, all your trucking needs. If you've never thought about getting into the trucking industry, it's a booming industry right now and very lucrative industry. So check them out and get more information, transcomservice.com. They will help you with all the permits and things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. So I highly recommend the folks at Transportation Compliance Service. My order should be arriving, well, my wife's order, because I'll be gone all week. LeanFeastMeridian.com. We ordered this morning. It's on the way already. No excuse to not eat healthy anymore. They deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley. Healthy eating, very affordable. Highly recommend them. Check them out. 2 minutes in the microwave, and you're eating your custom steak, shrimp, chicken, fish, turkey, whatever you want. LeanFeastMeridian.com. Make your order today. You will not be disappointed. And Jay, I mentioned Circa, $16 million in guaranteed prizes going on with their 2 football contests. We are signing up a couple people while we're down there, and then we're going back in August for the contest weekend. Would love for you to join us in August for the contest weekend. You get room rates, room discounts at Circa, open bar events with Derek Stevens, the owner, a open bar at a pool party at Stadium Swim. A lot of awesome, cool stuff. And again, $1,000 entry fee, Survivor contest, Millions contest. Get a couple buddies together, put an entry together. Join us in Vegas to sign up. And if not, I can sign you up while I am there. And then again, I know folks are a little nervous about the gambling in Idaho not being legal. This is 100% legal using our proxy, Tom Carroll, VegasFootballProxy.com. He's the one that signs you up. And again, it's very easy to use. You have to sign up in Vegas with Tom and with Circa, but then you can play anywhere in the world. You basically just fill out the form every week, and then Tom goes into Circa and makes your picks, and it's 100% legal. So if you want to win some money or at least have a little more skin in the game, how about $10 million to win it, winner take all in your Survivor contest? We highly recommend it. BNN will be entering the contest. I have some friends entering the contest. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. And if you want to get a couple buddies together, lower the cost, let me know, and we'll hook you up. Circa Resort and Casino, Circa Sports, and their football contest. All right, Jay, the plan for the uniforms, as I understand it, and I believe you do as well, is I would say in the next 36 hours, you'll have the new uniforms. I believe before the players on Wednesday morning put that jersey on, and there's even some events on Tuesday night where they may have to wear the jersey for some promotional stuff. I believe it's going to be tomorrow. It could be today, but I believe they're not going to just have the players show up on Wednesday with the jersey and you and me taking a quick phone picture and have that be the announcement of the jerseys. I think they've got something bigger planned. I don't know all the details. I would just assume the uniforms will be out today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that, the prediction was made, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, a little over that.
And I've heard nothing to say that won't be the case.
Mostly it was common sense, I guess, because there's just a lot of things that expedite it. Earlier media days, heck, the NCAA football video game, comes out in 8-9. What is it? I think the pre-order is 8 days away. So there's just some things where they gotta get that out there if they want to control the message and the announcement. Yeah. And
well,
so
why wouldn't you? If you're ready to go and you have the pictures and graphics of them and you're done, like why not? So
maybe that was the challenging part.
Why haven't they said anything? No hype building up for the unveiling. I think there's been a little bit of hype, but I mean, a little bit of hype.
There's also a lot of moving parts to it too, and there's so many things like this that you just don't really control, right? And so I think it's one of those things where you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver in any way, shape, or form when it comes to some, whether it be this or other things too, for that matter. I mean, look at how diligent and patient they were with the East Side Stadium renovation announcement, where or the North End Zone, excuse me, where they they were patient, and it all came out, and it was all very organized, and now they're selling sweets and all that fun stuff. So, this is one of those things too, where you don't always control everything. So you have to be a little patient.
Bronco 130. I've heard rumors there'll be blue ones and orange ones. That's not actually true. There will certainly be a blue one. My understanding is the 3 this year, Jay, let me know if you've heard differently, but I've heard blue, I've heard white, and I've heard black. The orange ones will not be replaced this year. So they could wear the orange uniforms this season, but it will be the old orange uniforms. They're still part of the rotation. The only actual new ones that I have heard are blue, white, and black. They chose black over orange for the 3rd one for this year.
Yeah, there will be orange uniforms, but I don't know if there'll be new ones. So yeah, exactly.
But again, I would expect that to be today or tomorrow. And again, that's not huge breaking news. The players are going to have them at media days. You get something planned to announce them. So I would suspect some sort of announcement today or tomorrow. And as I've been told, Jay, and you have as well, I mean, Travis Hawk said it on this show. He saw them already. A nice, clean refresh, but nothing crazy or outlandish. I think some people I think are going to be a little disappointed. They think Boise State, they think new uniforms, they want some splashy whatever. It's going to be very clean, very I hate to say basic, but I mean I think it is going to be fairly basic in terms of the color scheme, in terms of what you get. You're not going to have huge Bronco heads on the sleeves or anything. It's going to be very clean, very very basic, I hate to say, but I think basic's not a bad thing when it comes to a refresh of the uniforms here, and maybe the numbers being a little easier to read, maybe being white instead of that gray color. But I think that's going to be it's been needed. These are kind of have been, I think we said 8 years almost, I think. So
they weren't supposed to last that. They weren't supposed to last that long, even, BJ. They were supposed to get a refreshed look a few years ago, but it's it's crazy that it has been that long. Wow, that's insane to me that it's been 8 years. Yeah, but that
was the famous day that me and Dave Southern got to spend some quality time with Brian Harsin after the interview. Really,
yeah,
we had the interview.
That'll be. I mean, kind of what you said, BJ. Like, I think that there are certain fans that, regardless what they roll out there, they're going to be excited because it's new uniforms. And I just think that one thing that whether you like them or not, whether you're satisfied or maybe a little let down by the change or the unique look of them, this is more of a Nike thing than a Boise State thing, where schools across the country are going to have a little bit more of a uniform look, if you will. Like some of the bigger money programs that can afford it, that they get more eyes. Yeah, they're like Oregon, they just have a different agreement with Nike, so they're still going to get all their crazy color combos and unique uniforms and things like that. But outside of those schools, there's just going to be a more of a streamlined look, I think, from team to team, where the colors kind of differentiate the look, not necessarily a style or a different looking uniform for that matter.
You didn't take my bait. You just blew right by the quality time with Brian Harsin. We had a nice one-on-one chat after the remember they brought out some mannequins and they did the whole release of the uniforms in the middle of the offseason, and then we got to spend some time with Coach Harsin up in his office afterwards.
I forgot that it was that day, though, man. Like
I think it was.
I'm realizing how long ago this was now. It's been a little while.
Mark Moss says 1-year deal, by the way, according to Mark Moss. We've got some conflicting reports on the Pac-2 teams joining the league, but I still think that makes the biggest sense long term, and you're probably correct. That'll be one of the bigger storylines there. So Jay, appreciate you for joining us as always. It's going to be a fun couple of days. Again, KTVB will have you covered on the newscast and KTVB.com and all their various channels, and then Jay's going to appear a couple of times on our channels. 5 hours of live coverage on Wednesday, 5 hours of live coverage on Thursday, 10 a.m. We'll be live at 10 a.m. tomorrow from Stadium Swim. Johnny and I will be out by the pool tomorrow at 10 a.m. from Circa Resort and Casino to get you started with Media Days coverage. Johnny and Prater will be live from 3 to 6 tomorrow outside the pool as well. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we'll kick it off 10 a.m. both days. Just fire up YouTube, have it in the background while you're working all day. 5 consecutive hours. We're starting the stream at 10, and we're not ending it till 3 when Johnny and Prater start their show. And then you listen to their 3 hours, and you'll have 8 straight hours unprecedented live coverage here. And then, as I said, you just switch over to KTVB and keep it going with all their newscasts. So three outlets, no local newspapers going to media days. It's disappointing. It's sad, whatever. But the three that are going, KTVB, The Ticket, and BNN, we're going to have you covered with wall-to-wall coverage that you won't find anywhere else. So appreciate you, Jay, as always. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to all of our great guests and all of our great folks that are going to be a part of Mountain West Media Days coverage this week. Mike Sanford, Prater, Johnny Tust. I'm really excited about it. And again, we will attempt to start the show, Jay, with no mute button on the first day on Wednesday. Then we'll know we're off and running if we can pull that off. But all week, going to be a lot of fun. And again, thanks to our commenters. Thanks to all of you guys for watching the show. Go support the sponsors. And appreciate you as well, Jay, for making today work and then giving up 30 minutes of your busy schedule down there in Vegas as well. So I do appreciate you squeezing us in and making it work and finding a time that works. And I'm looking forward to catching up with you and everybody down there in Vegas. It's going to be fun, man. Drive safe. You and Brady. I'm not going to. It is what it is, man. But you should be flying first class, man. You shouldn't be driving.
Right.
Jay Tust should be first. He should have a booster flying in private down there. What are we doing? Jay Tust driving.
That's not the truth. Come
on. Well, it'll be fun regardless once you get down there. So
yes.
Safe. You got the big arm checkup tomorrow, man.
I do. Yeah. So
you're still in the brace. You hide it pretty well.
But yeah. I'm at the 20. I'm down to 20 degrees. So it's darn near a straight arm. And I really thought that it might be off in time, but I don't think it's going to be off in time. So unfortunately, I will say this, BJ, maybe the heat will be my excuse, but I will be a little more casual at these media days than every other one because I'm not going to.
No sport coat with the no sport coat doesn't work too well. With
I'm not going to ruin a suit because of this damn darn.
That might be a first, seeing Jay Tust at a Mountain West event, not in a high-end sport coat.
The unfortunate thing about it too is any shirt that I wear, this thing, it's kind of got like a little Velcro backing, so it rubs the armpit. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to ruin a nice dress shirt or.
I think Jay's just wanted to show the guns off a little bit down there.
I don't have guns, man. They're gone. I can't lift anything right now, so it's going to be a little bit different. But I'm going to use the heat as the excuse of why I'm going to be a little more cash than normal. But yeah,
Brady, get some sleep tonight. You got a lot of stuff to carry tomorrow. Help out Jay here. Come on.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Appreciate it, Jay. Thanks again, everybody. Again, 3 to 6 today. You can hear Johnny and Prater on their show, and then we'll be live tomorrow at 10 a.m. from Stadium Swim at Circa Resort and Casino to kick off Mountain West Media Days coverage. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.